175 yards. Okay, little fella. You my friend? Or you my enemy? You are my friend, right? You are my ally. You are my associate, my personal assistant. You are my weapon. You are leaving.
Oh. Great shot.
Ooh, nice shot, Mr.
Maybe bend over a little bit. There, that feels about right, doesn't it? Hands on my shaft. The shaft. Let me just get my finger in there. 1, 2, 3. Oh!
Oh my God! Yeah. Thank you. How long have you been teaching golf?
Ever since I retired from being an astronaut. It's nice to see some heavenly bodies around here, too.
Good afternoon, and good evening to some of you. I am Meatball Saucy, and welcome to the Extra Life Music City Classic Pin Golf event, Meatball Saucy style. Before we get started, I want to send a special thanks out to Game Clip Central for providing that fantastic promo video. It's got all kinds of exciting clips and cuts, and production value super high. So if you have not done so already, please head over to Twitch and check him out. Give him a follow. Alternatively, if you're not a big Twitch fan, he's got a great YouTube channel where a lot of that content is re-uploaded, and it's a great watch, so head over there and give him a subscription. Okay, well, we are here today to talk about pin golf. And this event is kind of a two-piece activity. It's a charity event featuring and supporting Extra Life, which is part of the Children's Miracle Network. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that here in a moment. But they are kind of two separate things, to where the charity and the donations are kind of one activity of this event, and then the pin golf here is the other part. You don't have to donate. You don't have to, be part of the actual charity to play in the pin golf. You can have fun and enjoy this event without any cost to you. So just keep that in mind as we go through this. But I really did want to talk about Extra Life. Very, very near and dear to my heart is this area. But let's find out who Extra Life is and what they support.
We believe when we positively change the health of even one child, a ripple effect is created and felt by our communities for years to come. When we ensure our children can lead healthy, fulfilling lives, we foster the scientists, inventors, gamers, and leaders of tomorrow. You can help change kids' health and change the future for all of us. Register at extra-life.org.
And that's Extra Life, guys. So how do you set up and how do you get started with the pin golf? Well, it's pretty simple. You need to go over to the VPin Hub website. And once you are on the VPin Hub website, you basically are going to scroll down a little bit down to the news section. You'll see the logo for the pin golf tournament. You click on the pin golf tournament, and that will open up kind of an FAQ page here. There's a register button. We'll talk about that here in a moment. But it takes you through all of the details and the information about the event. But once you click on that register button, that will open up this web page. And this web page is kind of your registration form. But what it's got here is it's got a link to the donation. So if you want to participate in the donations, feel free to choose any of the 3 or 4 guys that are participating in this. Send them a donation. If you've got the disposable income, it's a great cause. Nothing is more important than children's health. Like I said, in addition to that information, as you scroll down, you'll have links to download all the tables and ROMs and back glasses and everything you need to actually participate and play in this tournament. And then down below a little bit further is the actual registration form where you'll fill in your personal details, and you're able to then to post your scores and all the rest of that fun stuff associated with this particular event. All right. So, why am I here? Well, because I played yesterday, guys. I've been practicing over the course of the week. Those of you that are in the VPin Hub Discord, you've noticed that I've been posting scores and things like that for my practice runs. But yesterday I did the real deal. And so today I'm going to share that run with you and talk about some of the holes and the tables that we're looking at. So without further ado, let's dive into the first hole. So Rock, this is a Gottlieb Premier table. You'll notice that when I updated this table, I didn't change the alt, and I've got Michael Jackson stuff in the background because I have them both. And either way, so the objective for this table is to spell rock and roll. You do that by collecting any of the lit targets, and you'll notice there, I'm actually working on the drop targets, which give you 2 letters per hit. And as you hit those lit drop targets, you'll see you get 2 letters. You can also use the outlanes for it. It's a very challenging table, so you got to be very careful with those outlanes because they can come down and hit you. But you can see on ball 2 here, rock and roll is lit. And that is how you score in pin golf. Let's go ahead and move on to table number 2. Table number 2, Captain Fantastic. Now, this is a score-based objective. Again, you've got got to score 35,000 points to be able to get the whole objective. Very challenging table. It's well designed. It's got a music alt sound to it that is fantastic. But it is definitely a challenge. You can have balls that will literally come straight down and you're getting 1,000 points. Okay? So when you're trying to get 35,000, it can be a challenge. But again, the focus here should be to try to hit those outlane orbits. Those can help roll up the scaling bonus that helps add to your score as you're progressing through the table. So here we go with ball 1 for hole number 2. And you'll see, like I said, I tend to try to focus on these out lanes as much as I possibly can. The drop targets are also very helpful. If you can get the full bank, you'll get that light up, and there's some bonuses there. But as you can notice, in the center there, the target, the more you can get that bonus multiplier towards the top to get the 10,000 bonus points at the end of the ball, is really the core objective that you're shooting for, right? And so again, like I said, the big deal here is just watching those outlines. If it gets too close, I try to use that upper flipper to push it back into the middle. Try not to shoot it across into the other outlane, but that's generally my overall strategy. So then on ball 2, you can see I had 12,000 points. A lot of that came from the bonus. Most of it was not from anything, but as I'm rolling through this ball number 2, definitely, again, still trying to rack up the points and get that score up to the 35 mark. And you'll notice that I've got that yellow, I've advanced the bonus to where it's now up around 10,000, and it's another 5,000 in the center. So just really important to keep that bonus multiplier moving as much as you possibly can. Again, the whole theme for this is Music City and the Music City Classic. So all these are music tables. You'll notice I just barely missed that 35,000 on my second ball. So here we go with ball number 3. And you can see that I'm at 34,000 now. I've already got 1,000 points of bonus at the bottom. And there you go, 35,460 on ball 3. So that's enough to hole out and give me a score of 3 for Captain Fantastic. All right, let's move over to our next table. And this is Elvis. Great table. I believe this is originally done by J.P. Solis. Really good table. Plays extremely fast. You definitely have to have good reaction time on this. Now the objective here is to complete Hound Dog. Now to complete Hound Dog, you have to hit the Hound Dog lock target in the center of the table. You have to do that by hitting it, I think, 6 to 8 times, whatever it is, which starts the mode, and then you score and you are basically good to go at that point. And you're going to see here on ball 3, a very blink and you'll miss it moment. But let's go ahead and talk about what I've got going on here for the start. Now it is possible to hit the Hound Dog target from this right upper flipper. It takes a little bit of timing, but it is possible to actually make it. It's actually a safer shot if you can do it on the Hound Dog target, because Hound Dog tends to cause ball drops. So you can shoot for the Hound Dog and have it bounce off and go right down the drain. And more times than not during my practice runs, that was the effect. And again, like I said, it takes quite a few hits on the Hound Dog to get all the lights lit, then get them solid, and then start them out. So it requires quite a few. I'm honestly not sure, and maybe one of you guys in the chat know, if it starts over after every ball. I feel like it does. I think it does. At least it seems like I was hitting it a lot in the first 2 balls, but then I had to hit it a lot every time I scored it. So there also is a possibility, if you can get the rollover targets, to get 3 Hound Dogs in a jackpot. that kind of get that will light the mode ready to start. So you hit it once and you'll start Hound Dog mode. It's difficult to get, but it is possible. So if you're trying to get through those areas and you're having difficulty, it's potential to think about looking at those rollover targets as an option for you. So here we go on ball 2. Again, doing everything I possibly can to get hits on that Hound Dog, and you see I'm getting them, and now I'm on a drain. All right, so here's where I'm going to have you guys focus on the DMD, because like I said, this happens so incredibly fast. I'm going to have quite a few hits on Hound Dog. There's one. But at the end of this run, I literally start Hound Dog, get a point hit to collect some points for it, and I'm draining all within the same stroke. It is basically a suicide sacrifice hit that's coming up. And the only way you know that I got the Hound Dog mode is by watching the DMD. So watch this third ball here coming up very, very carefully. Like I said, it's one of those ones that's a blink and you will miss it. So those are those rollovers is what I was talking about, where you're seeing the bonus and things like that coming through. Got lucky with the ball save there. But here I go. Now I'm starting to put the moves on the Hound Dog. And now if you're watching the DMD, like I said, it's going to be really fast. More Hound Dog hits. There it is. Hound Dog, drain. Collect the bonus. Light is lit. Mode is complete. So there we go. Didn't get to play on much longer, but we got through 3. We scored out in three balls. So yeah, that was definitely one of those blink and you'll miss it moments. This is also a great pup pack, but for those of you that haven't. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks, Hollywood. All right. A word from our sponsor here, guys. So for those of you that are not or have not been over to vpinhub.com, this is your one-stop shop for all of your virtual pinball needs. They've got leaderboards, tutorials, creator spotlights, events, and links to download tables and information. You can also have links to all of the creators and players that are part of the VPin Hub within that site, and they will give you details and information on their streaming schedule and when they are streaming. So head on over to VPin Hub and support our community. Moving on to table number 4, AC/DC. This one is a beast, guys. is to try to hit the orbits and get in a better shape. And so you'll see that was my ball one, and I think I did pretty decent there. And so what you'll see here, I actually go in, and prior to actually playing, I wanted to see what I had left to do, and I Metallica, and the objective of this table is to start electric multi-ball, or electric chair multi-ball. To do that, you've got to hit the center target 8 times, which will then activate the magnet, hold the ball, and launch the multi-ball. You're also going to see in this first run through a little bit of a glitch, and we'll talk about that here when I get to this ball number 3. Again, another fantastic table. I always struggled as I was going through what music or song I would play, and I landed on some of these that I picked that you're hearing through the course of the week on which one gave me the best rhythm and best feel. And you know, I feel like Ride the Lightning really was a really top pick for what I wanted to do for electric multi-ball, right? Lightning, electric multi-ball, all of the above. Now this table, throughout the course of the week, kicked my ass. I'll be honest. I had one epic run where I did it in one ball throughout the course of the week, and then other times it was just 7 and out, right? I got the worst score possible on this table. And as you can see, I'm really grinding here to try to get it to the left flipper, which is where my comfort zone is with hitting that electric chair at the top of the table and being able to start it. For some reason, I wasn't able to get my post pass working during this run, but you know, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's a touch situation, and sometimes you got it, sometimes you don't. But then going through ball number 2 and working through it, still wasn't putting up any type of great score here or great run. But then ball 3 happened, and you're going to see here in a second. After I see how many I needed to actually hit, it gets stuck. It actually cuts or clips through the zombies. Yeah, Hollywood, you're right, and one of these days I will remember to do that. When you're recording it, it just doesn't always capture with the right brightness. When I'm playing it, it looks perfectly fine. But as you can see, the ball is just trapped within the zombie leg physics up at the top. So I have to exit out of the game to be able to restart it, which is unfortunate. But I did go to the team at VPN Hub that is running and organizing this event and explain the situation and what happens. And so what you're going to see here is this next ball. My very first ball on this next game, I hit it. So in basically one shot, I'm right back into playing the game. And so I went over to the guys at VPN Hub, explained the situation, and asked them to rule on what my score should be. I asked if, hey, do I just wipe that whole game from the record and take a 1 because I did it on this first ball here coming up? Do I continue that third ball and take a 3 because I finished it on this next ball? Or do I just count all 3 balls from the last game and take a 4, right? Because this is my one ball and hitting it on this ball 1 technically would be the next stroke or 4. And so the ruling came back and they graciously agreed to give me a 1 to scrap the first game and use this game as this. So so I really appreciate them helping me out with this particular issue, just because, like I said, it's, I think Paladin made the comment that in a tournament, you're going to have the marshal coming over and opening up the playfield and releasing the ball and so forth. And yeah, no, I appreciate it, guys. I would have been happy either way. I just wanted to know what was going to be the score, and like I said, I would have been good with any call, and I appreciate that it was the lower of the 3 scores. So thank you. But again, there it is, ball 1, electric chair multi-ball.
She's cooking. I could smell it.
And again, like with the last one, I played it out just because, it's multi-ball, right? I wasn't shooting for anything in particular, and knowing that I was done at this point, I was just flipping the balls, seeing how long I could keep it alive, and if I could actually score anything. But I definitely was not putting a ton of effort into it. It's a great table. EPW did a great job with the physics on this and the updates to it. Awesome, Gramps. Glad I could help. And again, like I said, just kind of hopefully sharing some of my strategies and what worked for me, what didn't work, and see what you guys think. Okay, and so here we go. This is the whole 6th turn, and we're going for Kiss. And holy crap, this is a hard table, you guys. When I say there are tables that are 7s in this on this course, this table is a 7 for sure. We've got a really challenging game mode that they picked, which was collect 3 of the instruments. Now, on a standard KISS table, or one of the possible rule settings on a standard or a real KISS table, is the ability to hit the ramp and light all of the available instrument collect points. This particular version, ROM-less version, does not support that. You can only have one. Yes, the physical table is easier, much easier. But yeah, and I was that way until I actually hit it. It's one of those things. It's really one of those things that until I did it, I was just like, it's impossible. And I was able to do it on my 5th ball on one of my playthroughs. But you'll notice here that I do have the guitar lit, and I did hit a ramp shot that shows that within this ROM or within this version, you can only have them one instrument lit or collect lit at any given time. You can't have all of them lit like you can on the real table. Not only that, but the physics on this are older and not as conducive to hitting specific targets. So it's a much more difficult task, but I somehow got in a rhythm with this table one time and was able to literally just loop it. It was just bam, 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 all 3 of them back to back. And captured the ball, grabbed my phone, and took a picture because it was so damn hard. I was shocked with the fact that I was able to do it. I wanted to capture it for posterity. But yeah, it's expect a 7. If you get anything else, good on you. And it is possible. I'm proof of that. But to do it under pressure in a situation where you're scoring and having to play like this, good luck. But the table looks good. It sounds great. Ballotito did a really good job with what is available. But it certainly could do with some physics updates, I think. It could certainly help, and possibly recoding that mode with the collection of instruments, and certainly retuning the kick out from the Gene mouth, because that is just, I mean, if you accidentally hit it in there, you better be ready to nudge and shake, because it's coming out on a trajectory straight down the center of the lane, and if you don't get a ricochet off the side of his mouth, it's going down. Right? Yeah, no, I agree, Paladin. Like I said, I really think you guys put a lot of diversity into this course, and I may complain about this particular table or one of the others, but like I said, they're all doable, all reasonable, and they will cater to different levels of skill. People can adjust to these physics or the changes in the physics and do it better or not do better. So like I said, I'm welcoming anybody that can push something other than a 7. I was really excited when I hit my 5, so I look forward to see if anybody can do it, especially under the pressure of trying to post. Behind the scenes is much to do. I believe it. No, we can't do that one. Yeah, we know. Let's do something else. No, I believe you guys had a lot of conversations about what should be included, what shouldn't be included. But like I said, I think the diversity and what you guys came up with is fantastic. It really plays well. It's fun. The transition can be a little bit jarring, but again, that's pin golf, right? It's hey, can I make it through all 9 tables and all 9 objectives? And if I can't, well, I should have practiced more. But again, it's that performing under pressure and what can you do when you do that final run, which quite honestly surprised the heck out of me. I wasn't expecting it to perform the way I've done so far up to this point, and moving forward, it was a very pleasant surprise. But yeah, so this was basically a 7 and out for me all week except for once, and I'll share some of those scores here towards the end of the stream on what that looks like and what this scoring run ends up being, so that you guys have a target. Put a target on my back and let you guys all take aim and shoot. But you can see I'm putting it up into that guitar, and I'm just not hitting the targets up there. It's not getting enough of the bounce that I like, or that I'm used to when I play this at the arcade. And I mean, literally, it's hitting the target. It's just not getting the credit for it, and it's just too bad. But anyways, like I said, it was fun trying, and of course Kiss is some fantastic music, so going along with the theme and where we're at for the whole and where it fits in the chorus, I think it's very good. It's just going to be disappointing and frustrating for a lot of players. I will bet you that. I've seen a lot of comments on the Discord for that. My wife was disappointed that I used Hotter Than Hell when I was playing. She has other favorites that she prefers, but well, got one. I got one. One out of the three. Not going to complain about that. Like I said, it was even just getting one is pretty cool. And getting a second one is also pretty impressive. Okay. Hole number 7. My favorite hole of the course. Why is this my favorite hole of the course? I just love this table. I play this table all the time. And while I didn't have a really great run throughout the course of the week, I also wasn't putting a ton of effort into it just because I knew what I was capable of with this table. Like I said, I've got lots of high scores on it. Was actually having a really great game that I wish I would have, in hindsight, instead of just getting the objective. So the objective here, guys, I'm sorry. Let me start over with this. So you've got to score 40,000 to hole out on this table. And as you could see, the first ball, I had like 3,000 or 4,000, whatever it was. But then I had this ball. And this ball turns out to be pretty darn epic, you guys. The bonus alone almost covered me for it. I got an extra ball. It was very, I've since watched this video and gone, man, why didn't I continue that? This was very potentially going to be a new personal high score if I hadn't cut out. But you live, you learn, and someday I'll be back and probably sooner than later playing this again, and maybe I'll repeat something similar and push this up into a 6-digit high score for myself. I know I watched Frisco Pinball put himself into a 6-digit high score for this table, so certainly is possible. I just hadn't done it, but I was definitely on pace with the score I had towards the end of this, or at the end of this ball, with an extra ball, so continuing on ball 2. Unfortunately, but that was more than enough to hole out, and I just didn't. Oh yeah, this whole Pup DMD is extremely awesome. I love this pup pack and the way it is. There's also a psychedelic mod you can turn on for the table, but I really like the color scheme of the dark black and white table. It really goes. But as you can see, 59,000 on ball 2. And I had an extra ball, so I was continuing ball 2. So hold out. The Beatles. Brutal table, guys. Brutally hard. I was able to hit the objective here for the hole is to score 600,000 or higher. And man, is this a hard thing to do. I love this table across the board. It's I think there's a Doom mod of it. It's also the table that they did with the Fifth Element, and so it's one I play a lot. not so much the Beatles version of it. I played the other two versions much more, which don't have that vicious turntable in the middle that shoots the ball just randomly in any direction, it feels like. But you can see my previous score of 649,000. I don't know that did any good or does any good. I kind of did okay, I guess, getting through a couple modes that way. I don't know. If anybody has any strategies, I would love to hear them with regards to this one, because it's a tough table, and 600,000 just seems so far out of reach in any given run. And you know, it was like, love the Beatles music. I do enjoy the layout, but here we go. We're going into ball number 3, and I'm at 269,000. So, you know, little more than 380,000 off, or 350,000 away from the goal, and I don't even have 350,000 in the first 2 balls, and I've got to get it on my last ball. All of that being said, I had a pretty good ball this ball. I didn't realize how good it was until I got to the end of the ball and saw that I was within striking distance of, when I drained, I saw that I was in relatively close striking distance of 600,000. And I literally was at the end of my edge of my seat watching this bonus counter, and you will see the results here in just a minute. So again, just checking the score, seeing where I'm at, knowing this is my last ball before I've got to start over. Trying to focus on little things and simple, you know, quick scores and where I can get the scores from. I do have that bonus lane open there on the left-hand side, which I just hit. So basically, it gave me an extra ball, right? So now I have the ability to drain, which I did immediately, but still continue playing. And so, like I said, now I'm up into the 439 range, right? And so I'm inching myself closer. This is the 400 is actually my is really kind of my.
Sometimes I can even do that.
My average score for this table, so I knew that I was getting to where I usually end up failing and draining out. But then I glanced and saw that, hey, I'm within 100,000. Oh, then I drained.
What would you say to that?
Now all I had to do was wait for the bonus, and there it was. I let out that exact thing. I mean, I was super jacked. I was like, yes! I didn't think there was any way I was going to hit that within the third ball, but holy cow. Big time ball 3 was what that was. And I talked about the pressure and being able to perform under pressure, and that was it. All right. Hole number 9, Iron Maiden, Legacy of the Beast. This one is brutal, guys. I can't tell you. It's this one, when I'm just playing it and practicing by itself, right, Gramps? I was super jacked. I mean, I was just literally, woohoo, bouncing around in my arcade. But this is an objective that is pretty hard. So the objective here is to start Trooper Multi-Ball.
Welcome to
In order
my
to start Trooper
world.
Multi-Ball, you've got to hit the 3 drop targets that are on the right-hand side, just in front of the main center ramp. And you'll see on this first ball, I do a pretty darn good job of getting those 3 drop targets lit. Once the drop targets are lit, you turn on the lights for the blocking of the ball to start Trooper Multi-Ball. And so, like I said, my objective here within the first ball every time is to, at the very least, get the drop targets done and give myself an opportunity to have a couple chances at getting the ball locked. And so you can see here, I've got the ball locked, I've got the locks are lit. You either hit that interior lane or the exterior loop, the one on the right. You can see the triangles are blinking green and orange. Those are the targets you're trying to hit, or lanes you're trying to hit. And so there we go. I hit one of them, and I got my ball locked. Exciting. Ball one ball locked. I only need to lock 2 balls to get to Trooper Multi-Ball. Getting really darn close here. I feel like this is within target, and whether it is through my own fatigue or overconfidence or whatever, this is as close as I get for the next. So that was my ball 1. So ball 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I get no closer than where we're at right now. And so it's very, very, very disappointing. I was very disappointed in my play here. But the funny thing is that I could do this in my sleep when I'm just playing this table. If I go fire this up, I can do Trooper Multi-Ball very quickly. 1, sometimes 2 balls, but almost always in the first ball I can get Trooper. But no matter what, all week long it was crazy. By the time I had gotten through the end of the plays, no matter how I staggered out breaks in between, just couldn't do it. I couldn't do this. I 7'd out on this table every single time. So yeah, that's been my playthrough, and we can sit and watch not succeeding. But really, like I said, the objective here is get those locks lit, and hit one of the 2 shots. You got a shot from either flipper, and that's the worst part, is that I had so many attempts and so many misses during this run and several others. This was really there were times where I had 2 balls locked this week, and just wasn't able to get that 3rd ball locked, and it was just brutal. It was a brutally painful table. Like I said, when I'm not playing it this way. We got some buffering. My bitrate is down. That's because my son came in and started doing
Welcome to my world.
stuff, but that's all right.
Under glass.
Mystery.
Okay, well, that is the course, you guys, and I will real quickly just share with you my scorecard. So this is kind of what I have been posting in the Discord this week, and you'll see that I've kind of got this top score. And again, this is unofficial, the worst best par. It is the worst possible score is 63. The best possible score is 9. I created my own par by averaging them to create the 36. And then like I said, I played through the course all week long, each table going through. I had some ups and downs, but my last play on Friday was by far my worst one. So the one right before when I played yesterday, I was actually hitting not so good. But now if we go take a look at the scores from yesterday. Ooh, baby. Yeah. Meatball's got a score, guys. I have officially posted that score. So you've got a target. The target is on my back. Score is 30. But yeah, we shall all drink to the spreadsheets. Okay, like I said, I have got nothing more for you guys today, but I'm going to send us out this morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you're at, and we're going to check out that awesome promo video again. Thank you very much, Gramps. And you guys, thank you very much for being here and watching. Tell your friends if they're interested in this tournament to come in and post a score, details how to join. It's one of those scenarios to where it's a little bit different way to play pinball, and I've had a fantastic time playing it, and I can't wait for the next one. So you guys have a fantastic rest of your holiday weekend. We will catch you on the next stream. And again, if you need me, hit me up in Discord. I'm on the VPN Hub Discord. That's where you can find me. All right, you guys. Cheers.
175 yards. Okay, little fella. You my friend? Or you my enemy? You are my friend, right? You are my ally. You are my associate, my personal assistant. You are my weapon. You are leaving.
Oh. Great shot.
Ooh, nice shot, Mr.
Maybe bend over a little bit. There, that feels about right, doesn't it? Hands on my shaft. The shaft. You just get my finger in there. 1, 2, 3. Oh!
Oh my God! Yeah. Thank you. How long have you been teaching golf?
Ever since I retired from being an astronaut. It's nice to see some heavenly bodies around here, too.